Yeah, good afternoon to members of the media. Yeah, a very difficult match. Where we were responsible for setting the intensity and the tempo of the game from the beginning. And we didn't do enough of that in the first half, but I want to thank my players for responding in the second half and trying to play with a little bit more aggression and a bit more intensity. And then we created a few more chances than the first half, and we were a little bit more aggressive in and around the box. So the positives are that we responded in the second half and we gave it a go, but yeah, still have to share my thoughts with the players first, and then watch the game again and have a more comprehensive understanding of the performance.
Thank you, Coach. Colleagues, it's your opportunity to ask questions. Your name and publication, please. By show of hands, do we have any takers for the first question? We'll start with Mr. Kent there at the back.
Thanks, T-Man. Hi, Coach.
Jokins.
The Pyramids coach said there and was really. He said he felt like the referees handled this match very, very well. He had very good things to say about the referees. I mean, if the opposition coach is here thanking the referees and their performance of this match, what's your take on that?
No, I never comment on the referees. I tell you.
Sorry, Coach. The question was not about the referees, but like, what's your take on the opposition coach thanking the referees for their performance today?
Sure. No, I don't want to get involved in that space.
Thank you, Coach. Kamu?
Coach,
Sure,
thank you for your time today. Kamu Kholo for Soccer Laduma. Having won the AFL and having dealt with such a high level of competition for a large part of the month, do you think maybe the team is sort of having a continental hangover in the sense of, maybe playing opposition that's not at the standard of the teams that were involved at the AFL in the Champions League?
No, I don't think we're suffering from that. I don't think so. I think we've got a couple of situations. I don't want to talk too much about those because the headline will be Rhulani complains or makes excuses. We've got so many things we can talk about that influence what's going on at the moment, but we have to just soldier on. The universe has no budget for pity parties, and we have to just soldier on. But definitely, hangover is not one of the reasons for our performances at the moment. No.
Thank you, Coach. There's a question at the back. Okay, let's start here, then we'll go to the back.
Coach,
Mr. Mahlatsi, sir.
I look at the group and it's quite exciting. All teams on the same number of points after the same number of matches. Is it nice that it's shaping out this way? I guess for the neutrals, it will be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you, but what's your view on how the group is shaping up?
Yeah, not for me. No, I'd love to have a little bit more control of our own destiny. But okay, 3 games for everybody, 4 points for everybody. Yeah, let's keep going match by match, and keep trying to get more points. We know what the target is, and there's still 3 games to go, and we are within reach of the targeted number of points.
Coach Maskepe.
Sure, Skepe.
Yeah, Power FM. Coach, on in matches like this, where I think in most of the games that Sundowns wins, it's always the system that comes through and wins the games, where everyone is moving together. But in a game where you are more or less restricted to do that, do you feel you've got the kind of individual brilliance that's maybe sometimes required to that surprise element to steal it. I don't know if maybe I'm explaining my question.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't want to go that direction, because if I go that direction, I think it's my job to make sure the players understand how important it is to qualify, and when I don't get that desire there, and that's is not necessarily about the performance of the players. It's a little bit of the number of games and the volume of games that we are playing, so if the message doesn't go through to the players, then I've got to look at myself first, and I've got to say, did I deliver the message properly? And that's the first starting point. Is I start with myself, and I think maybe I didn't deliver the message well enough for the players to understand how important it was to win today's game. But okay, it is what it is, and we've just got to now try to recover. We've got a very important game now on midweek, and then we have to try to prepare for the away return fixture against the same team, and it's going to be very difficult again. So, yeah, let's try to recover, rest a little bit, and try to prepare ourselves for still a very long month, and still a lot of games to go.
Coach Lorenzo Mideski Times.
Lorenzo.
IB was taken off after I think like half an hour. Was it the injury there, or was it tactical?
Yeah.
And then secondly, near towards 70th, 80th minute, Fatih was having a go at everyone around him, including you. What was the issue about that got everybody so incensed in that moment?
It's difficult because it brings me back to the refereeing thing. So I don't want to discuss that situation. It was a bit of a unfortunate situation with and again it happens because of a foul that's not given, and the players feel incensed, and when you try to calm everyone down, of course, then the players react. But no, I'm not paying too much attention to that. Adele, yes, injury. Yeah.
We'll take the last two questions. Njabulo.
Njabulo, get the new frame.
Njabulo,
Yes,
yeah.
24, sorry. Coach, I mean, Champions League games tend to be very emotional in that it's not just tactics, but in terms of it's that emotional element. What do you think it did in this game that there isn't a very strong emotional connection between these two teams? It was just, I don't like to use the word random, but it was a random team that you're playing against. It's not like a Wydad or a Alali where there's history and rivalry that when some things don't work out, players have that emotional drive to sort of push themselves. And what do you think it's going to do in the return leg, that towards the end there was that emotional and animosity that to an extent there might be some scores, for lack of a better description, to sort of try and settle in Cairo?
Yeah, but that's my job. It's my job to make sure that the players are emotionally at the right level to compete, and that's why I answered Skepe's question that way, and I felt the same. I felt there was no that a deep-rooted desire, and that's the job of the coach. So I look at myself to say, did I deliver the message well enough in preparing for these games? And yeah, let's as I said, no time for pity parties. The universe doesn't have a budget for that, so we can't keep feeling sorry for ourselves. We've got to move on and try to understand now. We've got two very difficult away matches, and then we have to finish off the group stages at home, fortunately. And by that time, hopefully, we will know what we need to do. But yeah, it's these games are not easy, you know, and it's a difficult. I do feel sorry for my players because it's a very difficult month. This is so many games. Everybody wants to beat us, and everybody feels that we've got to play at a certain level, and without understanding how difficult it is to keep going with every 3 days you're in camp, you're trying, you're traveling now, we'll be traveling again very soon. So it's just that type of program, and we've got to go on with it. But like I always say, they say heavy is the head that carries the crown, isn't it? And so we carry the crown at the moment, and everyone wants to make sure that they can say they're the first to beat Sundowns, and that's the responsibility and the burden that we carry at the moment.
Thank you, Coach. We'll allow Kens to close it off for us.
Coach, you know, you speak of playing a lot of games, and this December is just ridiculous, for lack of a better word. I once read an article where the Boston Celtics said they were so jaded, and they were in a playoff series, and they had lost, I think, 3 games in a row. And they said, the coach said to the captain, "You figure out what we do in the next 2 days." And they were supposed to train because they had a game in the 3rd day. And the captain decided they must go on an excursion, and they went to play putt-putt golf. They didn't train. And then they came back, they said that just the bond they created from playing putt-putt golf helped them to win 3 games in a row, and they tied the series. Do you think maybe perhaps this month might need you to do something out of the ordinary for you guys to get a bit more refreshed?
Yeah, it's a culture has also comes into that space, and the South African culture in the December period is a culture that is got and doesn't accommodate football. It's over the years, and even as a child growing up, this time of the year is for festive games, for us to go watch my money period games, or you know what I mean. So it's very, very difficult to have a clearer understanding of what it needs to get a little bit more refreshed, because you leave the house and your wife and your kids are at home, and they're saying, but you're leaving again, and you're going to training again, and so of course it's very difficult for the players. And that's why I said to you guys that I want to thank them for responding to the talk at halftime, and I start with myself, and I say, but where was this team in the first half, you know? And so when I couldn't recognize the team, it's my responsibility to look at myself first in the mirror and say, did I deliver it properly? Did I prepare the team properly? Did I, you know? So that's the but, and there's many ways to think about it. But as I said, let's recover, bring the team back, and let's see what happens. We've got a very difficult 2.5 weeks left, very difficult program, and then they've got to go to AFCON. They've got a camp. Majority of them is so let's see what happens. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Coach, and wish you all the best in the next fixtures.
Thanks, T. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.